YouTube? Topaz Jason. I got a pretty good show lined up for you today, man. First, we're gonna jump into the news. Then we're gonna jump into this review for this new Dr. Dre album. Then we're gonna jump into an article from downloadpass.com. But before then, listen to a brief instrumental from underground producer Broken Land Beats. So Jimmy Winfrey, the guy who shot up Lil Wayne's tour bus, is pretty much coming out snitching and shit now, saying in court documents that Baby should be held responsible here because if it wasn't for the financial disagreements, then the whole tour bus incident never would have happened. And you know, he's just telling pretty much what everybody already fucking knew. But anyway, on to today's review. And today's review is to that Dr. Dre Compton, a soundtrack. And this comes off as a rushed project, man, in order to help sell more tickets for this Straight Outta Compton movie. To keep it 100, dude. And you may be asking, how is this a rushed project, seeing as though he allegedly is taking some tracks off of the Detox album, which was like 16 years in the fucking making to put this project together. And you can quite honestly realize by the style of music and the tracks that have been leaked or that he released from the Detox album over the years, how different these projects actually were. Go back and listen to I Need a Doctor, The Recipe, and Tonight and compare them to this album, man, and you'll realize how different they actually were. Like, you can tell he definitely was inspired by the making of that movie in order to create this project, which it only had to be about a year and a half that he spent on making this damn project. I fucked with all three of those songs, man, that I named because they were mainly songs that was pushing the boundaries of music, trying to make shit change and such. While you listen to the Compton soundtrack, man, and you just hear a lot of gritty and very reminiscent style of him coming up and shit in the game, in which that's kind of why it's a soundtrack. And then you listen to the content of a bunch of tracks that he's rapping and a bunch of other people from Snoop Dogg and Ice Cube talking about how they was coming up and shit, documenting the rise, in which I like that concept, man. It's just it didn't follow through on a level in which it damn near demanded to be followed through on, you dig? And another thing that kind of gets to me here, man, about this album is the fact that he's using Kendrick to write a lot of these songs and such. And here's the thing, Kendrick has mastered his flow and he is one of the better lyricists out there and shit right now, you did. But yet he mastered everything for his own style, for the way that he sound with his own particular voice. A lot of times, I'm not saying every time, because Kendrick obviously wrote some songs that I did like It's All On Me and such, man, in which just a lot of times, man, it just doesn't work for Dr. Dre, man. Just skill-wise, he doesn't have that what Kendrick has. So, I mean, just because you have a great writer doesn't mean that that great writer should be writing for you. Now, there are a good handful of tracks on here that are fucking solid. Like It's All On Me, where he's pretty much talking about how everything, no matter what, no matter it's good, bad, all the stress that comes along with his life, everything falls on him because he's become the centerfold of everything that's West Coast and in the music industry altogether. That All in a Day's Work was fucking solid as well. For the Love of Money was dope, man. I definitely enjoyed it because one, my boy John Connor did the motherfucking thing on it, and he wrote obviously Dr. Dre's verse on it. But my only issue with it is it wasn't as good as the classic original For the Love of Money, in which when you talking Dr. Dre remix pretty much somebody's shit, then you expect it to be better, don't you? That Animals track was great, man, where what they talking about is how the cameras and anybody just really don't pay attention to Compton when good things are happening, when people are trying to build up some shit. Instead, all of the cameras come and flock to it whenever there's like riots and shit going on, just so you can call people animals and bullshit like that. And that's the game that the media has played on us fucking forever since it's existed. So, but that's definitely on some real shit that I definitely enjoyed the hell out of that. And that also was co-produced by DJ Premier and such, in which there was a bunch of rumors of them being in the studio together and came out pretty damn dope. And I fucks with that Talking to My Diary, man. But that is overall 5 tracks out of the 16 on this motherfucker. Like, that's more skips on a Dr. Dre project that I've ever fucking had. And you know, if he dropped this project 10 years, maybe 14 years ago and shit, I probably would have gave it closer to a 7 or 8, you dig? But because he waited 16 fucking years to give us a horror album in order to promote a damn movie. So he pretty much pieced together whatever he could piece together and just pushed that shit out, just forgetting his whole perfectionist shit all of a fucking sudden. So with that in mind, you got to say at best this project is a 5 out of 10, dude. But quite honestly, the first ever 5 out of 10 album that I would say go ahead and buy some individual tracks off of it, because there's some good shit on there. But anyway, on to today's article from downloadpads.com, and today's article is about taking a step back in order to take steps forward. See, this is a necessary thing, man, when you are grinding for a long time in order to reach an ultimate goal and shit. Like, take the Portland Trail Blazers, my favorite NBA team and shit, man. We just had to get rid of LaMarcus Aldridge and shit. Well, honestly, we didn't have a choice. He was leaving anyway. So after that, we scrapped pretty much the entire team that we fucking got, but kept the one superstar, offensive superstar that we got in Damian Lillard, and trying to build a young core around him. Pretty much, we're taking such a huge step back than what we was last year, man. But yet, it was necessary for financial reasons in order for us to actually put together a championship team, because the team that we had damn near peaked. So sometimes you have to take that step back in order to become the championship team or the best team you could possibly be. And in rap talk, the same shit happens. Like, sometimes you can't be recording in these top-of-the-line studios when your money runs out and shit. Sometimes you gotta take that step back, get a decent little spot until you can build up your fan base strong enough that you can start affording to do things like that. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpads.com, that's down there, to read today's article.